Okay, so there's my tarot journal, the Enchanted Oracle. Here's the interview spread. Now, the source for this on the internet, I don't think it's no longer up as a website, and it went to a page called inventivepublication.com, which had nothing there. It was completely parked, so I figure it's for sale now. So the original creator of the spread, whoever that may be, thank you, because this spread is bang bang. I mean, it'll tell you everything you need to know about your new deck, and it'll also tell you if you and your new deck are going to get along well, or maybe you need to rehome it. I did do a very partial flip in a previous video, which is here, my haul from US Games. Check it out. I love the novelty of a round deck. So let me zoom in here. They all have titles, numbers, and they have 3 keywords. And I love the artwork. It's really cute. And it's about the same size as the tea leaf reading cards, if you're familiar with that Oracle deck, which has been around for a long time, like maybe about 20, 25 years, something like that. Round decks are cute. I like to read with a round deck every so often. Oops, that one's upside down, sorry. That's the lid from the Chalice Well at Glastonbury. I've been there. Amazing, amazing energy. I would dearly love to go back before I die. Really, life goal right there. But as you can see, it's very Celtic paganism in its character, which I resonate with very well, even though I am Mexican-American. I know from a previous past life regression and several dreams, I have had 4 lifetimes within the United Kingdom. So I really resonate with the Celtic culture, and I am a major Anglophile. I've been to London 3 times, and I've been all over southwestern England back in 1989 on a 2-week tour of England, the theme of which was the real and the legendary King Arthur. And there we have Morgan Le Fay. Perfect timing. That's too funny. And I dearly love the Arthurian stories, and that was definitely the trip of a lifetime. I had paranormal experiences during that trip, 2 major ones. First one in the card up here, that's on my sister channel, True Tales of the Paranormal. If you're into the paranormal, I ask you please subscribe to that channel and watch a few videos, drop some likes and comments. That would help out my channel so much over there. And then I had another paranormal experience in the field across the highway from Stonehenge. That is also at my True Tales of the Paranormal channel, in that card there that you can check out after this video. My entire tour group of 10 Americans, our driver and our guide, well, the driver wasn't in the field with us, but our guide and 10 Americans had a shared paranormal experience in the field across the highway from Stonehenge, but we didn't really know it was truly paranormal till the next morning. And then, pretty much, how many years is that? 35 years maybe later, in looking at my pictures, I realized, hey, there are UAPs in my pictures. There are orbs in the sky over Stonehenge. So I've got that video, got that in the video. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy trip. Let me tell you, it really was. But here is the deck in its gorgeous totality. So now I'm going to give it a shuffle. And then we're going to go through that spread. And we're going to find out, we are going to discover all the ins and outs of the Enchanted Wheel Oracle, published by U.S. Games Incorporated. I have not used this deck for readings. I've just been kind of just looking at the art and getting to know it that way. And then I found the spread, and I used it with the deck, the Mindscapes Tarot by John A. Rice, which was a deck that I really didn't like. I didn't like the art. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to have to rehome this one because I'm an artist. If I don't like the art of a deck, I immediately send it on its way because to me, there's no point in keeping it. But that one I kind of hung into because I just had kind of a funny feeling about it. Like, I think it's got something to tell me. And I did this spread with it the other night. And I was blown away. Blown away. That's hard for anything to do to me, okay? I don't get blown away easily. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use that same spread with all 8 decks I got in my mega haul, which again was in one of the cards above, and it's also going to be linked below in the description if I remember to put it down there. If not, I apologize now. The guidebook has got full color thumbnails of all the card images. And they each come with an affirmation, which they just call in here a statement. Really nice. So here we go. And when I work with Oracle decks, unlike Tarot, I prefer to cut them at random. And then I pull the card from the bottom of the cut for each card position of the spread. Now, here we go. Card number 1 is, whoa, second card from the bottom. And we get the hare. Interesting because Easter's coming up. So, oh, I shouldn't have shown you the first one. Sorry. I wasn't going to show any of them. I was just going to pull them at random and then we're going to see what they are. This is card number 2. Card 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 9, and 10. I'm going to set these aside. Card number 1, we all know, is the hare. And then we get card 2, Northwest Samhain. Not Samhain, it's pronounced Samhain. I'm gonna move my camera out of camera, a candle out of camera shot, because I don't want to set anything on fire. This is Mushroom Sprite. Cute card. And then we get card number 4 is Morgan Le Fay. And then card number 5 is West Autumnal Equinox, Mabon. And then we get card number 6 on the right, and that is the Northeast Imbolc. This is interesting. Getting the Sabbats coming up here. And then we get North Winter Solstice. Okay. And then card number 8 is the Phoenix. Card number 9 is Feather Smudge Fan, and card number 10 is the Water Element. Okay, so this is going to be an intuitive reading. I don't really know the deck and the meanings for these cards. Some of them are really long and go on for like 3 pages. Even though it's a small book, it's small print. And so I don't really feel like it would behoove anyone if I were to just sit here and read out the whole thing. So this is what I'll do. I will read each card intuitively in turn. And then at the end of the video, what I'll do is I'll come back on camera and tell you, based upon the meanings in the book that I read off camera, if this really does mesh with my intuitive interpretation, and if I feel that this is a good deck to use. So, card number 1 is the Hare, and this is the card position. Describe yourself with 1 card. The Hare. Sensitivity, gentle, and softness. So this deck wants us to know it's a very sensitive deck. It gives softer readings, gentle guidance. It's concerned with the ebb and flow of life. Now, card number 2. Are you more in tune with grand life issues or mundane daily issues? And we get the northwest direction, which is Samhain. The key words here are ancestors, spirit, and grief. Just the fact that it's Samhain and you're dealing with the spirit world and with honoring the ancestors, it's going to deal with more major life issues. It's not going to be so much in the everyday. I think it's going to be more of a spiritual direction, and it's going to deal with, if you have questions on your own spiritual practice, I feel this deck would be excellent for that, just based upon this card landing for position number 2. And then we get card number 3, which is up here. And this card position is, how do you see me? They see me as a mushroom sprite. Well, I do like mushrooms, but, you know, the portobello kind. Simplify, grow, and nature are the key words. Interesting. How the deck sees me. Or basically how it would see, you know, anyone who comes to it for guidance. It sees us, the feeling I get from this card and from the image, it sees us as little children in need of guidance. Take my hand, the deck is saying. Take my hand, and I'll guide you through this issue that you're asking about. Very protective, motherly, and compassionate is what I'm getting from this. And that again is position number 3, which was, how do you see me, or the people who come to this deck for advice. Then we get card 4, which is Morgan Le Fay. The meaning of this card position, your general view of life and the universe. Interesting. And the keywords here are power, legacy, and the Fae. Well, Morgan Le Fay is, of course, Queen of the Fae. She was also the villainess in the Arthurian legends. And she's one, in Celtic mythology, she's one of the 9 Morgans, and they all shapeshifted into crows. So that's why she has a crow on her shoulder here. What I'm getting from this deck's general view of life, power, legacy, and the Fae. Using our personal power wisely in order to leave a lasting legacy here on the planet for our descendants. That's what I'm getting from this. A wise use of power. Also, realizing it's very easy to connect with the world of the Fae. Just because I'm reading this card right now and it came up in a reading, I know we're going to have some weird little things go on in the house in the next couple days, because the neighborhood fairies are all going to be like, oh, you're talking about us? Oh, let's move his car keys to where he can't find them. Actually, when my husband and I first got married, and, you know, I was practicing Wicca at that time. Since 1980, we were married in 1995, so I'd been practicing for 15 years already, and he was well aware. He started making fun of the fairies. I was doing some fairy magic, and I made the mistake of telling him, and he started poking fun at me, right? Later that day, he had to go somewhere, and he couldn't find his keys to the truck anywhere. And I said, well, here, take mine, you know, because it's not like I'll be driving the truck, and we only had one vehicle at the time, so he took my keys. Well, a couple days go by, he still can't find his keys anywhere. And then he goes into the kitchen to fix himself a drink, and he gets out the ice cube tray. His keys are resting in the freezer on the ice cube tray, and to this day, I am blamed for that. And I swear I didn't do it. And I told him at the time, they're mad at you. You got to go out and make an offering. And then he had all these little snafus going on and just little things and losing this. And he was so frustrated. Finally, he did. He put a bowl of milk out for them. And after that, everything went back to normal. And he was just like, holy crap. I'm like, yeah, do not make fun. You're lucky that's all they did to you, because they can be nasty. There are nice fairies, but there are a whole lot of nasty ones too. People assume they're all like Tinkerbell. They are not. There's all different types of fae. I actually have a story on my True Tales of the Paranormal. It deals with the fae. It's here up in the card, if I remember to put it up there when I edit. If not, it'll be linked in the description below the video. Check it out. True stories. Okay, so that was card number, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we go on to 5, which is here. And the meaning of this position: what are your strengths? The West, autumnal equinox, and the keywords here are completion, release, and change. Okay, it's telling us that it's going to deal really well with questions having to do with projects you need to complete. Perhaps there's a relationship you think that may need to come to an end, that type of thing, a job, big life issues there, and how to release it, how to come to terms with it, and how to accept the change that release brings. Pretty straightforward there. That was for card number 4. Card number 5, which is right below it. What are your strengths? Now, wait a minute. Your general view of life in the... Hold up. I'm getting confused now. Okay, this is number 1. It's number 2. It's number 3. It's number 4. Morgan Le Fay, general view. 5 is underneath, which was, what are your strengths? Okay, card number 6 is now over here. The spread itself, the way I laid it out, is a little bit confusing. I'll probably have to change this a little bit. But I like the way it looked at the time. Card number 6 is, do you have a message for me? And it is the northeast direction in bulk, and the keywords are quickening, inspiration, and light. It's interesting. I'm filming this right at the end of February, so we celebrated in bulk on February 2nd, and we're entering into the lighter part of the year. After the winter solstice, the days get longer. And so this in bulk is the coming of the light, coming of the lighter half of the year. So the message here would be one of creative inspiration. If there are any creative projects you want to get going, now is the time. It's kind of interesting because just today I began working on a sticker sheet of my hand-painted watercolor art for Ostara, or Easter. That's coming up in March. April. That's really interesting because I was working on that earlier today and I'm almost finished with it. How funny. So now we get, as I hear the rooster crowing in the background, my neighbor's rooster. That was number 6. Number 7, the card position is there anything you want or need from me? And it's the direction north, the winter solstice. And the keywords here are inner space, reflection, and darkness. So what I'm getting from this card, yeah, this deck needs the people who use it to be willing to go within, to focus intently on within, to get to know themselves on a deeper, more spiritual level, and to also spend the time to reflect, and also to realize, yes, we do have dark times in our lives, but to not allow the darkness to overwhelm the light within us, to keep our light shining. That's what it needs from us, because I'm really focused on this flame here, or this ball of light. What is it? It's a candle. It's a candle. So there we go. That was card number 7. So now we have 8, 9, and 10, which are the Phoenix, the Water Element, and the Feather Smudge Fan. So let's do the Phoenix. I'm going to move these up just a little bit so I can kind of maintain the card positions so I don't get confused and lost in the spread like I almost did earlier. There we go. Okay, Phoenix is card number 8, and the meaning of that card position is types of questions you're good at. And the key words for Phoenix are rebirth, renewal, and rising. Again, it's a theme. You see the theme emerging here? All about transformation and positive change, transmutation. Therefore, rebirth, renewal, and rising up from the ashes. You know, that saying, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. That's the type of vibe I'm getting from this card and from the deck in general. Those are the types of questions it's good at. How to deal with the crap that goes on in our lives. You know, the stuff that tries to pull us down and keep us there. How to deal with it. How to get past it. How to rise above it. Then we have card number 9, which is the Water Element. And here it is. And its keywords are emotions, flow, and healing. And the number 9 position speaks of what type of questions are difficult for you. Emotions, flow, and healing. Okay, first of all, does not want us asking questions about relationships. I get that quite strongly from this card. Do not ask this deck about relationships. It will not be able to answer those type of questions. Also, do not ask this card questions about your health, healthcare, anything of that sort, because again, it will not be able to properly address those questions. That's what I'm getting strongly from this. All right, and now the Feather Smudge Fan is card number 10, and that card position in the spread is, what will the outcome of our relationship be? Overall, clearing, ritual, and ceremony. That's interesting, clearing, ritual, and ceremony. Well, you know, smudge sticks, smudge feathers are to clear out negativity, to clear out imbalance so balance can be restored. And I think it's the energy of this whole deck. It's, you know, it's been an emerging theme throughout the reading. Change, transformation, renewal, rising above the situation, the clearing away of negative energy, sweeping it away. So the outcome of the relationship would be this deck can give us clear guidance on how to overcome, you know, the problems in our lives and just the complications of being an adult, especially in, you know, basically the shit show that the world has become. That's what that card is saying. All right, so this is the intuitive reading I just gave you. I'm going to go back now and read all the meanings from the book myself, and then I will let you know how close I was, how far off base, and then the video will conclude. So stick around for just a couple more minutes. I know it's getting long, but I appreciate you all so much. All right, I'm back. And as luck would have it, I was pretty much on with all the card meanings, you know, based upon the meanings in the book. Very, very close. And what allowed me to be close, 2 things. One, I'm an Anglophile, which means I love anything and everything coming out of England. I am very much in tune with the Celtic culture, with Celtic spirituality. Originally, I worked with the goddess Bridget for years and years before the Egyptian gods and goddesses called me. So very much in tune, and therefore that made it really easy for me to read these cards. Also, I practice witchcraft. I observe all the Sabbats. So again, I'm very familiar with the spiritual meanings behind the Sabbats and how that relates to everyday mundane life. So that helped. Familiar with certain characters that came up in the spread, like Morgan Le Fay in particular, and also the mythology of the Phoenix. and the importance of the hair for Astara. So all that helped too. So really, this is a deck you can pretty much read well intuitively if you enjoy reading that way. So I would highly recommend it. Again, it's not going to deal good with, relationship readings, anything of that nature, but pretty much anything else I think it can pretty much tackle. So that's it for my card deck interview for today with this deck. If you liked this, let me know. I've got a bunch of new decks. My unboxing is up here in the card, or it's linked below in the description, where I ordered 8 decks from US Games all at once, opened them all, and so now I'm working with each of them one at a time, and this was the first one I pulled to work with. So I'll be interviewing another deck. If you'd like to see that, let me know, and I will record that as well. And hopefully it won't go as long as this one, because I'll, learning the spread better and maybe working on a bigger table would also help. Thank you all so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It's for free. I have real close to 500. The way YouTube works, once I get to 500 subscribers and I have 3,000 watch hours, I will be eligible for membership and all that good stuff. And I've got plenty of ideas for the membership on here that I want to have here. So please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and let your friends know so they can also watch my videos. Thank you all so much. And until next time, I am Nefer Kefri, the Cozy Intuitive Creative, and I'm wishing you all a very blessed day ahead.